Welcome to this episode of the Gunman. This video here is part 5 of the hail and sun damage repairs I've done on this little Toyota Echo hatchback. So its paint code is 581 and the name of the colour is gold metallic. The videos prior to this, I've given you an entire look at everything else I've done, the repairs, the primes, the prep work, the base coat, and now we're up to our clear coat. So the clear coat I'm using here is just a fairly cheap clear coat, but it's good quality. It's called Duke Zone Plus 2K Clear. I'm using standard hardener with it and no reducer. It's thin enough without reducer that it doesn't need any. The spray gun I'm using here is the DeVilbiss GTI Pro Light with the T2 air cap, which is the equivalent of the American Techna Pro Light. It's, from what I can tell, it's exactly the same gun. The only difference is that in Australia, ours comes with a little air regulator, air valve on the bottom of the spray gun. However, I run a regulator on the bottom of the gun anyway, so to be honest, mine just sits there flat out anyway. I never actually use the air valve on this gun anyway. Quick run through the settings I'm using. I'm using about 20 to 25 psi at that regulator on the gun, and the fluids, it's pretty warm day, so I've wound it out to about 4 winds out. So you wind that fluid right in, come out 4 winds, and I've got that fan wound right open. So it's just a little Toyota Echo hatchback. I'm not going for showroom finish. If it's got a little bit of fine orange peel in it, I'm really not too fast. So you see me I'm just replicating the peel that I want. It's something that I had a guy ask me this morning. He said, why does orange peel exist and how do I stop it? Basically, you can't paint a vertical surface without orange peel. I mean, the only way you'd really do it is just by spraying it on that heavy that it's just dripping off the panel. You're going to get big runs and stuff like that, so that it's actually flowing. Basically, just the way that it comes out of the spray gun is the act of actually spraying it on is going to create orange peel. You can get, say, horizontal panels, so if you're painting a bonnet or something like that, you can get them pretty close to flat. However, just orange peel is part of spray painting. As far as acceptable orange peels go, that's another question. If you look at any single car from any manufacturer, I'm talking Lamborghinis, absolutely every Murcielagos, all that kind of stuff. I've even got videos on me painting a Murcielago and painting a Maserati, all that stuff. They've all got orange peel in them. It's whether or not you are happy with the orange peel that you're getting. A couple of common causes for bad orange peel is having your paint too thick, having your pressure too low, holding the gun too far away. So have that pressure up nice and high. So as I say, 20 to 25 psi. It's going to depend on the gun you're using, the temperature of the day, and the finish that you're looking for. So if you wanted sort of a more of a European style orange peel, it's really thick orange peel, you would have the pressure a little bit lower, go slow the passes down a little bit, and put more paint on. Whereas this sort of a peel, which is more Japanese style car, they don't put quite as much paint on. It's probably mainly just to save on materials as much as anything, and hence to why it had this sun damage as well. So those who've probably seen the entire job will remember that it had all the clear coat had basically just peeled right off the hood and the roof as well, and all those the rails, the turret rails as well. So yeah, they probably use cheap clear and they don't put enough on, whereas the European cars, BMWs, Mercedes, Audis, Volkswagens, all those kind of cars in our West Aussie sun, they seem to hold up quite well. I'm originally from Melbourne and we did get some sun damage cars over there, but there's so much more sunny days here in Perth that it's really common, and you really start to get you start to notice which cars get the good paint put on them and good quality clears. So that's why I do sort of recommend using a if you're doing restoration work and you do live in a extremely hot environment, or sunny, or if the car's going to be parked in the sun, then yeah, use a good quality, high solid, UV clear. But for this car, I just use, yeah, as I said before, just the Duke Zone, just the cheapo stuff. If I get 5 years out of it, which to be honest, I won't even own the car for that long, I'll be happy. And yeah, it's going to be a lot easier to respray next time now that I've done all that hail damage too. Just quick sand down and paint. Yeah, I got looked after by the paint supplier, Jeff from Parks here in Western Australia. That's the local paint supplier for Standox, and Duke Zone is made by the same company that makes Standox, which is Axalta, and yeah, we just get the Duke Zone through them. So as Jeff said, he goes, it's the same technology that goes into the Standox clears, obviously, because they're the same company, but it's just probably made a bit of a cheaper version of it. I have noticed with this Duke Zone clear, if you go to get like an absolutely dead flat finish on a bonnet or something like that, it will sometimes like solvent pop up, which is you'll end up with little sort of craters in it. They'll look like silicone holes, but it's actually from putting the clear on too heavy. So you just got to be careful of doing that with this Duke Zone clear if you guys ever do decide to give it a go. Yeah, I think I ended up paying about $800 for the full kit, which was pretty good. Like, yeah, that's probably cheaper than even trade price. Like, Jeff looks after us pretty well. When we're doing our own cars, obviously, if it's commercial, you know, we're not going to be able to do those kind of prices all the time. But yeah, like, I even sometimes get customers, and because I'm in my own workshop now, and you know, I've got to do quoting and stuff like that. I get customers, they're like, oh, you know, how much to do like a really quick respray on my car, like just the cheapest you can do. And I'd say $2,000, that's rock bottom price. I can't do anything cheaper than that. And even most of the people, that even scares off $2,000. And I'm like, mate, if you want it done even half decent with good paint and polished and everything like that, and take all your door handles out, I can't do it for any less than $3,000 or $3,500. Any panel shop around here in Perth, it's a $5,000 respray without even doing any body repairs, full stop. Any body repairs go on top of it. So yeah, it's just, I guess, one of those things. Just you get those customers, but you just you're better off sometimes having an empty workshop than a bad customer, to be honest. And I'm not going to go and drop my standards of work so low just so that I can get their work, you know, because to make money, I'm not working for free. You got $1,000 worth of tools, materials. Power isn't free. It's you know, power's not cheap. It's, to run this spray booth, you know, it's probably, you know, for a full day, if you had this thing running, it would probably cost you 30 or 40 to 50 bucks or something like that, if not even more. Like, you got big fans in there, you got big banks of lights and stuff like that, and yeah, you got all that kind of stuff to think about. So yeah, sometimes you're better off just doing your own cars and doing stuff like that than having those bad customers and those tight asses in here. But yeah, we've been doing quite well so far. We've just pretty much it's worked out. As soon as one car goes out, another one sort of comes in, or another job comes up. And we've got some work up at the airport as well. So another thing I thought I'd make a quick mention to is I'm going to start putting my videos up on a schedule. So same as previously, it's going to be Thursdays and Sundays, but I'm going to be putting them up at a specific time, which is going to be 12 o'clock midday Perth time. It's going to vary obviously around the world. A couple of my big geographies, big viewers base is America. So the east of America, New York, stuff like that, is Wednesday night at 11 o'clock, and obviously Saturday night at 11 o'clock, so you are a little bit behind us. West coast of like Los Angeles, that kind of thing, is going to be 8 o'clock the Wednesday night, 8 o'clock the Saturday night. I've got some big following in even Russia, and Germany, Poland, all Stockholm, Sweden, stuff like that. That's minus 7 hours behind my midday, so UK is minus 8 hours. So if I've missed out there, I'm sorry, but yeah, just check out what time it's going to be for you when it's midday for Perth time. So yeah, every Thursday, every Sunday. Another thing I'd like to make a quick mention to is make sure, if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. I don't usually plead for them, but recently I've actually had this guy, he has stolen my logo, right? And I asked him, he's modified it and then used it on his own channel. French guy, I asked him kindly, I said, mate, can you please remove that logo? That's mine. I bought that. That's not just a generic, you know, cheap ass, everyone can get this logo type thing. I had it professionally made up by a graphic designer. He's stolen it, modified it. I asked him to remove it kindly. He was rude about it. I ended up having to go to YouTube and get his videos pulled because he didn't cooperate with me. He's then started going onto my videos and given me heaps of dislikes, whether or not it's through his friends or he's got so many accounts that he can just log into all these 10 or so different accounts and give me a thumbs down. I'm not even going to mention who it is because that's, I guess they say any publicity is good publicity, so I'm not even going to give him the publicity. I'm just going to ask you guys to give us a thumbs up if you don't mind, if it's not too much out of your day. It's only one quick click and it just makes my videos look good. I always previously used to get, like, if I had 2 or 3 dislikes on a video, that's lots for me, you know. So yeah, just make sure you hit that thumbs up for us, please. So yeah, here we go. We're onto our last coat of clear coat. So putting it on a little bit heavier than I was previously. I just decided to whack you guys on the tripod, just something a little bit different, give you a bit of a different aspect of how I'm putting the clear coat on. As you notice there, bumper bars all left on the car. You know, there's no money in doing your own cars, obviously, is there? Unless you're gonna sell it, and even then, there's no use in pulling the bumper bar off. I mean, it's probably only a 10-minute job, but I just didn't see any real benefit from doing it. There's nothing wrong with doing it this way. I've masked it all up properly. Got the water on the floor, so it's not going to be kicking up dust. So yeah, all in all, the job came up real nice. I've got a bit of an ending there for you. Got a good look over it. No polishing involved in this car. It's very rare that I polish my own personal cars. I've got a VL which I've already started working on that. VL Commodore. Probably will polish that one for the first time out of my own cars, but just because it's a real nice car. I'll see how it comes up. If there's any real big bits of dust in it, I'll polish them out, but apart from that, I'm not going to get too carried away with it. I'd sooner have an off the gun finish than a polished finish, because off the gun has got obviously no scratches in it, but as soon as you start polishing it, you're going to have, even if all it takes is you to actually just touch a car and run your finger across it and you're going to put scratches in it. Like, I had this classic panel beater, like just finished doing this restoration on a HQ Ute, an old 75 or 73 I think it might have been, holding Ute. And he just comes in and rubs his hand over, like, black paint and everything, and just runs his hand over it. And I'm like, yeah, you'd expect better from someone in the trade, but he is a panel beater. Sorry for all you panel beaters that are watching, but yeah, I guess we probably do stuff that annoys panel beaters as well. But there you go. So I'm just checking where I'm up to. Obviously, just getting the reflection of the light and continuing on. Just about to wrap the job up here. Not quite as long as the last video. The last one made it up to about 30 minutes. This one's about 16, 17 minutes, something like that. So next up, we're just got to put my last coat of clear on that spoiler up there, and then I'll do a little bit of a fade out because you see the way I went around this car. I started from the tailgate, did the tailgate bumper bar, went around, did the passenger side, bonnet, front bar, and then the driver's side. So there's going to be one little sort of dry spot because there was a couple of minutes in between me starting and finishing, so there's going to be a little bit of a dry spot where my overspray's landed on that tailgate, so I'll just spray a bit of thinner over that. DuPont AK350 is what I'm using. You could just replace that with any good proper 2K thinner. Like, you're not going to use gum wash or anything, it's just going to make it look crap. Possibly cause silicone and make it all dull off, but yeah, even just say 75% thinner and 25% clear, something like that. That's a good little mixture if you want to do make your own fade out thinner. But if you do have the proper fade out thinner, then by all means use that. It's going to make for a little bit of a better job. It's purposely designed for that job. So there we go. I've just put the fade out thinner in there and just spraying it over that edge where I told you that I'm gonna have that dry spot. So I find that it's just easier if you just walk the whole way around the car, come back to that one spot, you got one dry spot rather than going left to right, up and down, and you sort of lose yourself sometimes if you do it that way. So just, yep, start at one spot, walk around, finish there, fade out thinner, job done. So that's the job. I left it overnight, come in the next morning, put all the trims back on, painted the hubcaps up, gave it a clean up, and the job's finished off. So next video should about wrap this job up. It's just going to be painting the hubcaps. That was made, a request actually made. To be honest, I probably wouldn't have even bothered making a video of it, but a guy said that he wanted to see those hubcaps being painted, so be sure to tune in next week at midday Perth time, or next episode. Here we go with the car out in the sun. Colour looks real nice actually. Had a guy from next door, he said, oh, what's the name of that colour and what's the colour code? Because he had some old 60s, some sort of an old car that he wanted to do up, and he wanted to put this colour on it. So that paint code again is 581, Toyota colour code, and it's called just gold metallic. So it looks real cool in the sun there, doesn't it? Anyway, make sure you don't forget to give us a big thumbs up. Couple of videos here at the end. One on the right, I think it's actually a great video. It goes right the way through from start to finish, paintwork, prep work, all that stuff. Hasn't been viewed that many times. I think it's definitely worth a watch if you're a regular viewer. If you haven't seen that C180 Mercedes job, make sure you check it out. Otherwise, check out the LPH 400 review and demo. Thanks for watching, and this has been another Gunman production. Goodbye.